There it is.
There it is. No, you hit it, and then it gives you a little pop-up. Oh, it's going on YouTube. Make sure you're not playing music that you're not allowed to play or watching porno on your other screen.
Why would we ever do something like that?
So people can see it in the reflection of your glasses. But there you go. Let's see. Can you see the dancing girl?
Vaguely.
It's a Beetlejuice gif.
Ah.
I was when I said that, and I look and there's something moving on my other screen. It's like, wait, what did I have pulled up? It's like, oh, it's Twitter, but yeah, it's somebody dancing around. All right. Welcome to CMYK TV podcast. I am Anthony Bachman. Today we got a short crew. It's just a two-man operation. Joining me tonight is El Jaquez himself.
I'm over here.
Yes, Josh is over there on my screen, and I am over here on his screen. And it's just the two of us. So, short and sweet, two-man crew. CMYK, episode 15, I think this is. Yeah. So, we're back keeping things going. How was your week, Josh?
It was okay, and then it got stressful, but that's how things go sometimes.
Very true.
Looking forward to the final convention of the year here in Denver for next week.
What's the last one for Denver?
It's called Rocky Mountain Con.
So how many cons are there in Denver that are like comic book media stuff, not just like weed?
There is in excess, I would say 10 plus.
God damn. I really should move back.
And it's an array of comic books to steampunk to anime.
Wow. Because we have Fandomonium here in Boise.
Right.
And I mean, nothing against them because it is a very small thing, but literally one of the worst Ren conventions, and I say conventions in quotes, I've ever seen. It was held at the downtown hotel this year, which is a pretty good sized hotel in Boise. And literally, I was able to walk in through the front door, go to the elevators, go up to the third floor where I was told our room would be for Pacifist, and made it to the gaming room without seeing one sign or one staff member that said anything about there being a comic book convention going on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. No signage in the front lobby. No signage outside of any of the entrance doors. You literally had to go in through the lobby, go down the side of the check-in desk and where all that stuff is, go out into the arena where they have like sporting events and like the semi-pro basketball team plays and stuff. And on like the big side cement walkway around the arena is where the check-in desk was and all the signage. But if you didn't walk in the area, you didn't see it.
That's crazy.
That's how big Boise is for conventions.
Well, to see the problem with you moving back to Denver is that you just bought a house.
Yeah, well, kind of sucks.
So I mean, unless you can find somebody that just wants to buy you out of your mortgage and all that sort of stuff, I think maybe a visit here and there is probably going to have to suffice for a while.
Yeah, because I just signed this 30-year mortgage again, and I'm planning on keeping this one a little longer than the last one.
Yeah, well, life kicks you in the balls sometimes.
Pretty much. Yeah. Now, as it was put this morning on ATGN, I was asked if I was broadcasting from a GameStop.
Because is the Funko a big thing in the GameStop?
Yeah, Funko. They do exclusives to GameStop. GameStop's one of the stores that has exclusive Funko Pops. So there are certain ones on the shelves behind me that are from GameStop that are very specific to. They were only sold there. Like where's that one? I don't see it. I have they did the False God San Diego Comic-Con exclusive went to GameStop this year, which was it was the Superman pop where he's flying, but they did it all in silver to make it look like the statue. Gotcha. But then it actually has the letters False God done across it in spray paint, like the movie.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that one was exclusive to GameStop.
They had that statue at San Diego this year.
Nice.
And on day one, it was clean. People were taking pictures next to it. I think sometime by the end of the convention, it had been sprayed False God across the chest.
Oh, nice. Like they set it up so people could get like the cool Superman shot and then midway through the convention changed it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Whether it was vandaled or it was on purpose, either way, it was pretty cool.
If it's in San Diego, I'm assuming that it was done on purpose. I can't imagine anybody would have the balls to try to fuck with a Warner Brothers property
Right.
in Mecca
Right.
during Comic-Con. Like that's the type of shit that gets stabbed in the eye with a pen. From what I heard about the Avengers panel that one year.
Probably so.
Yeah.
There's definitely some diehards. Definitely some diehards.
All right, let's see. So this week, we don't have our update for The Walking Dead because Jason's not here. Francis got stuck doing something else, so we're only going to be able to talk about the shows that me and Josh were able to watch. So I did get all caught up on Gotham, which I think you're still not watching.
It's one of those shows that I only watch when I run out of other things to watch.
It's at the bottom of your list. I just I'm caught up on everything, and I wanted to mention Gotham specifically because they've kind of pushed something which I really didn't see coming, and it's really cool. But now Mayor Cobblepot has a crush on his right hand man, the Riddler.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're going to introduce the fact that the Penguin is either gay or bi, and literally like wants to date Edward Nygma. And so it's going to be really strange to see what that does to the show, because that's a very, very different way to take it.
Totally. I mean, I wish the show just for me was more about Bruce growing up.
Yeah,
and the things that happen.
Yeah,
in
it's
Gotham.
not. Yeah, because I think when they said they were going to do the show Gotham, I think what people really wanted was the adventures of young Bruce Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted, your parents are dead, you have all this money, you're not going to go to school, so you're going to begin your training. Where are you going to go? They want that story that kind of we got in Batman Begins, where he goes and trains with a magician, and he goes and trains with a chemist, and then he goes and trains with an actual detective. Like, we want to see that training stuff all leading up to him putting on the cape and the cowl.
See, I went with Smallville.
Yeah.
I thought that was the route. Not necessarily Smallville's exact route, but...
Yeah, not high school drama, specifically.
Not high school drama, but just, the young adventures of Bruce. And sure, you can have some commissioner, lieutenant, whoever, Captain Gordon stuff, but they're past... can't meet or whatever, or they meet once, or you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not that steeped in Batman history.
And in this show, it's all about Gordon. And this week it was good, though. It was more of him fighting with Jarvis Tetch, the Mad Hatter. The Mad Hatter kept putting him in positions where two people would die unless Gordon chose to save one of them. And so he was having to choose which people would die. And Tetch just kept making him do it over and over again because he was fucking with him. Which it made for a pretty interesting episode. So that was a good one. Gotham's been fun this year. And then
I do like that it's psychological. I do like that part, but I just, like I said, more action.
Yeah, Bruce has nothing to do with the action. I think that's why a lot of people don't really like the show as much as they thought they would.
Sure.
But yeah, so Gotham's been fun. Lucifer was good. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was another good one this week. We got to see more Ghost Rider action. That was fun stuff. We got.
I should just start watching whatever season they're on.
You could. I mean, honestly, I can tell you that because did you watch any of part 1 or season 1?
I watched. I believe all of season 1, at least most of it.
So you saw Skye joining S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes.
Okay, so all I have to do is tell you this: Grant, who was on the team, was Hydra. He eventually turns on them.
Okay.
Skye isn't Skye. She's actually Daisy Johnson, who is an Inhuman, who is Quake.
Okay.
But she doesn't know this because she was adopted. She finds out later her parents were Inhumans. She gets hit with Terrigenesis. When she comes out of it, she has the ability to basically create vibrations and earthquake stuff, kind of like Richter from the old X-Men comics and cartoons.
Okay.
So she becomes Quake and then ends up being converted by Grant after he becomes the god that started Hydra. It's basically I'm trying to think, like the sandworms in Dune are actually made up of tiny fish.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's millions of small organisms making the big one.
Yeah.
That's what this creature was. They find this lost planet that Hydra has been sending people to for years to try to bring back this creature. And it's an ancient Inhuman that's basically like a virus. That's all these millions of tiny parasitic viruses that are living as an organism that make up this Hydra kind of actual like snake-headed creature, but it can shapeshift and turn into whatever. So it comes back looking like Grant Ward. So the guy that turned on them comes back to fight them again, which is nice for the actor because even after they kill him, he gets to keep staying on the show.
Right.
And so he ends up having a thing where he can basically put chemicals into any Inhuman that, like, it's basically like he's feeding them crack. They become addicted to being near him, and they automatically do what he says. So it's like kind of like a pheromone treatment almost is his superpower, where he can just take over, kind of like the Purple Man's mind control, but it's not only him controlling them, they literally go through a withdrawal if they're away from him. Because what his chemical reaction is doing to their brains is literally giving them like dumps of endorphins. So they feel like they're high all the time. It makes them feel great. And so he turns Daisy and basically makes her a bad guy. She ends up hating herself so bad that at the end of the third season, I don't know, I think they're in the fourth season now. So at the end of last season, she leaves the team and goes and becomes a rogue agent. And Quake is going around basically fighting for Inhumans on her own and has left S.H.I.E.L.D. That's all you need to start the new season, and the new season are only like 4 episodes in.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, then I could jump on some Ghost Rider action since you guys keep talking about it.
Yeah,
it must be pretty decent if you guys, are that hyped about it. So
it is. And the actor who plays him, that as he's playing the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider, is coldly nailing the character. The special effects were awesome because they literally let his head catch on fire and have the face melt off, and then the skull is underneath. And it's a different looking skull because the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider is a different demon than the old Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider, so they made sure it actually does look different. And then he's got the sweet ass car, not a motorcycle.
Okay, yeah.
And then,
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And then the big thing for this week is they went after. They're dealing basically with ghosts. These people who died in a scientific experiment found a way to come back. And they can affect people and basically drive them insane, but nobody can hurt them or touch them. And so they've been trying to figure out how to fight them. And, of course, they realize that Robbie can literally grab these motherfuckers, set them on fire, and kill them.
Yeah, great way to introduce a character that has
supernatural powers because you need
yeah.
Yeah, nobody else.
Paranormal powers, but I don't think that's
paranormal, preternatural, supernatural, however you want to call it.
Okay, good. I don't say
because nobody else on S.H.I.E.L.D., nobody else on the team can even affect these creatures at all, and he can not only affect them, he can kill them. And so they really need him. So you get this episode this week was you've got S.H.I.E.L.D. having to work with Quake again and Ghost Rider, and basically all of them had to go into a prison to try to rescue a guy before the ghost got to him to kill him. So it was cool to see her kind of forced back on the team, even though she doesn't want to be on the team anymore.
Sure.
So it's good stuff. And if you want to catching up on the last 4 episodes, I don't think you have any problem. And it's a fun ass show. And I think at this point you can still grab them all on Hulu. I think you can do the start of this season forward. So
okay, yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And then let's see. So we've got nothing on The Walking Dead. iZombie hasn't started yet.
We both saw. Wait, that was last season or last episode was the Glenn thing, right?
Yeah. So last Sunday was huge spoilers. Glenn and Abraham got beat to death with baseball bats. So this week would be the first follow-up episode. Whatever Jay probably watched tonight. So it was nice on Tuesday or Wednesday last week. AMC sent out an email to people whose email address they have, and they did send out a link to people to watch it. So I did get to watch all of last week's episode, the season premiere of 7. So even though I'm only halfway done with season 6 on Netflix, I went ahead and watched it because, I'm reading the comics. I know what happens anyways, and I'd already heard so much. But It was a really well-done episode. Possibly the best special effects episode Greg Nicotero and his crew have ever done. And literally heartbreaking. Like, I actually cried. I'm a stone cold sociopath. I don't cry at anything. And I fucking rolled a tear by the time you see Glenn get killed, after you've watched Abraham get killed, and then Negan keeps torturing Rick, and basically he gets to the point where he actually makes him, I think Jay talked about it last week, he holds Carl down on the ground and tells Rick he has to chop Carl's arm off or they're going to murder everybody in Rick's crew. And, you see Rick, break. And it was so fucking well done. Andrew Lincoln acted his ass off.
Well, the comedian, is a hell of a guy.
He is, and yeah, and
you
honestly,
do not piss off the comedian.
That was the best part. Is Jeffrey Dean Morgan is even more charming as Negan than Negan is in the comics. Because Negan is charismatic, but he's like Ted Bundy charismatic. Like, you still can sense that he's fucking dangerous.
Right.
No matter how charming he comes across. But you can feel that he is a charming, charismatic guy. This is a leader of people. Like, this is a guy who was born to lead. And, he kind of the same thing that Rick has. Rick is a born leader. Whether he wants it or not, that's the type of person he is. And so, yeah, Negan's the same way, but in a much more brutal fashion. Like, not only does he not mind the brutality, I think he kind of enjoys it a little too much. But yeah, it was.
I mean, in the clips that I saw, he was enjoying himself.
Yeah, and it was so good. But yeah, other than that leaves us with the CW stuff. So, which CW shows are you caught up on?
I saw I saw Arrow, Flash, and Supergirl.
Okay.
I keep forgetting that Legends is a thing.
Thursday nights?
Yeah, and by the time the weekend hits, there's the work and other things I watch, and then I just get lost, and then it's Sunday, and I'm like, oh, shit. I still haven't watched Legends.
And trying to get caught up on all of them is a little tough. And Legends was fun this week because, yeah, they went back to they got the time ship going. They're flying away from the JSA, and big hubbub happens with the ship. One of the bay doors gets blown open, and the kid gets turned into steel. He gets knocked out of the ship, and Roy fucking jumps out into the time stream to try to save him. And so basically they both just go falling through time. And because the kid got the super serum last week, well, it turned him into steel. Basically, he can turn his skin into liquid metal. And so they were trying to test his abilities and figure out how to use them because he didn't know how to turn it on or off. It was just happening randomly. And so then, and in the comics, that's who that character is he's the third generation superhero whose grandfather was Sergeant Steel or whatever, and then he became Steel on another version of the JSA.
Okay.
But yeah, so he goes falling out of the sky and lands in like feudal Japan in like the 1600s or something. And luckily, Ray lands in the same time, which seems a little weird. They were both kind of falling through the time stream. It's like it'd be fucked up, and they ended up in totally different centuries, but they end up not only in the same place but on the same island in Japan. And then a Shogun shows up, smacks Ray, and takes his suit, and then figures out how to use it. So the Legends show up, track him down, trying to help him, and realize they're dealing with what's known to be one of history's most evil shoguns, and now he has a suit of 20th century tech that shoots fucking lasers. Yeah, so it's the Legends, versus Ray's suit basically. Okay. Yeah, it was a fun episode because you get what was it? It was all about Mick. He's always looking around in the trees, and they're like, "What are you looking for?" He's all ninjas. I fucking hate ninjas.
I got it. I have to watch it.
Yeah, it's good just for that. And then Vixen's on it because Vixen's stowed away on the ship after
Who's Vixen?
The chick with the animal powers.
Okay.
If you saw last week, she was in the JSA. Yeah.
She was in the first season as well.
Yeah. And if you remember from last episode, after the commercial, one of the guys a time bandit, somebody in time went and killed one of the members of the JSA, and she found him, and that was how the show ended last week. And so this week it starts with her sneaking on board the ship and attacking everybody because she assumes that Mick did it because Mick's a killer, which is true. He is.
Sure.
He just didn't kill that guy. Because, I think, I want to say it was Rip Hunter, but I don't think it was Rip Hunter. But yeah, the only thing he was able to tell her was time traveler before he died. And so Vixen assumes it's one of the Legends and goes to fucking take them all out.
Gotcha.
And then, of course, superhero fight, and then she joins the team for the episode.
Well, I mean, that's how it goes, right?
Exactly.
That should be the way it goes.
Superheroes fight, and then they team up. That's standard.
Yeah, so millions of copies, and everybody's happy.
Exactly. But yeah, it was a fun episode. And then, I made it more fun. I started doing, because I've been getting up in the morning and doing yoga, but I haven't been doing any weightlifting. I've been trying to think of something I could do where I'd be on a set schedule, make sure I'm doing it, and then, at least kind of try to make it fun. So starting Tuesday, I came up with a new superhero workout. So now during every commercial break, during every superhero show that I watch live, so there's actually commercials, I do one specific workout. So Tuesday night, while I was watching Flash, every time I went to commercial, I did 20 mountain climbers. And then an hour later, when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. came on, Every time I went to commercial, I did 5 push-ups. And then while I was watching Arrow, every time it went to commercial, I did shoulder raises, I think. And then Legends of Tomorrow, I did hammer curls. And I didn't think of this until Tuesday, so I missed Supergirl. But on tomorrow for Supergirl, which actually, yeah, that'll be Halloween. I'll be handing out candy. I might miss Supergirl. But if I'm able to watch it, during Supergirl, I'll be doing, I think, shoulder presses. But yeah, so I have a little calendar on my wall now, and for every superhero show, I have an exercise to go with it. So I can sit and watch it, but then every time the commercial comes on, I have to get up off my ass and go do an exercise. And I don't feel so lazy for spending at least 5 hours a week watching television.
Sure. No, that's good motivation too, to just keep yourself active.
Yeah, just doing something. It's like, if I'm not going to be drawing, I'm going to be sitting there watching the show. I get up and do something so I'm not sitting there for an hour straight. And especially Tuesdays, if I watch Flash and then go eat dinner and then watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that's 2 hours during that night where I'm not doing anything. It's like, no, I'll add in some workouts. So, yeah, that was fun. I started that this week. I did Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night and worked out for all of them. So it made it interesting.
Nice.
By the end of Legends, my arms were kind of sore. I might have aimed a little high on how many hammer curls I could do in an hour. Because, yeah, that show had a lot of fucking commercials that week, I swear.
Weird how that happens.
Yeah. You don't notice unless if you're doing an exercise per commercial, then you're like,
sure.
Fuck, there's a lot of commercials.
How many commercials? How long is this show, actually?
But, yeah, it was fun. And then, so this week, let's see, Supergirl, we had, was it Daxamite?
That and not the greatest special effects ever.
No, it wasn't the best
fire,
episode
but
for
the
it.
fire wasn't really attached to her.
Yeah, that's them. I think that's them trying to do the Superman power where it's an aura that protects them. Not so much that their skin is bulletproof, but the idea that depending on which Superman story you're reading, in some of them his costume can get destroyed because it's his body that's bulletproof. In other origin stories, versions of his powers, the Kryptonians on Earth basically have an aura around them that's impenetrable. And so that's why their suits don't get destroyed. That's why Superman's cape doesn't have holes in it.
Right.
And so I think they were trying to do that and show that the fire was basically going across her aura and not affecting her, though she was still on fire.
Right. Well, she looked like she, not that it hurt her by any means, but definitely that she wanted to put it out.
Yeah, and it did look a little weird. But also, I think this is also one of the most special effects heavy episodes because we got the introduction of more aliens in the alien bar.
Mm-hmm.
We got John Jones changing into Martian Manhunter. We got the Daxamite running around, who is Mon-El. He did give his name, so he is, I believe, the version of Superboy from the Legion, I believe is Mon-El. I may not be correct. I'm not positive on all things DC, but I believe Mon-El is the version of Superboy that's in the league where he has all of Superman's powers, but he can only access one at a time.
So definitely a child of the House of El.
Yeah, which is funny because they're saying he's a Daxamite and he's from another planet, but he has the same fucking last name.
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
It's like, so you're not Kryptonian. You lived on a different planet in the same galaxy, but you all have the same last name. You're all
another cousin.
Some type of weird cousins.
An evil cousin with a goatee.
As long as the cat, dog, and horse don't show up, I'm fine with them adding more Kryptonians. Just as long as they don't go into the animals. Because at one point, I think there was 4 animals that had Kryptonian superpowers in the comics back in the 60s on Action Comics.
Well,
but, they were all on drugs.
Right. Well, the 60s, even in the cartoons.
Oh yeah. They had what? Yeah, Speedy.
Dinobot.
Speedy the Super Cat, Crypto the Super Dog.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what the horse's name was. There was a Kryptonian horse that had Superman's powers.
Was it a cape?
I don't remember if the horse had a cape or not. I'm assuming he did, and I think there was a monkey too. And DC is all about the monkeys, Bleepo and fucking Gorilla Grodd and the Ultra Humanite. DC, for some odd reason, they're all about the goddamn monkeys. Mala and the Brain. I don't know if there's any monkey supervillains in Marvel, but DC had all of them. There's 9 supervillains in DC that are fucking monkeys. That's funny. Great apes. I don't know how they got stuck on that as a villain trope in that universe, but there's a goddamn lot of them. But yeah, it was a good episode. Other than the special effects got a little stretched because we got the Heatwave chick? I can't remember her name. Trying to take out President Wonder Woman. which was really cool.
Yes, I would kept looking at her and I was like, "Is that Linda Carter?"
Oh yeah. Oh, you didn't see? Yeah, they had. It was on Twitter. Like there's photos of her standing next to Supergirl from like I think 2 months ago when they were filming this episode, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, Linda Carter is coming to Supergirl and she's going to play the president." And then of course the best part as she's getting ready to leave when she tells them something about like some Supergirl says something about wanting to ride on Air Force One, and she's like, "You should see my other jet." It's like, oh yeah, there it is. Little throwback to Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I caught that, and I was like, "Oh, that was nice."
It was cute, but yeah, so it was cool because yeah, they introduced more, a lot more aliens, and then of course, yeah, the big wrap up at the end of the episode is John Jones goes to the alien friendly bar, switches to full blown Martian Manhunter mode, and walks up to the bar to order a drink, and of course, the girl behind the bar flips out, and we don't know why because it's a bar filled with aliens. And she says, "Oh no, so and so could take care of you. My shift's ending." And she goes like running out the back door. And John, I don't, he is telepathic.
The detective.
Yeah, the detective. But I don't think he was really scanning her brain. He was just weirded out by her. Just goes running after her to say, "Hey, what the fuck's going on?"
Right.
And stops her in the alleyway. She turns around and says, and he's like, "Do I know you?" She's like, "No, but I know you. You're John Jones, the last son of Mars." And she fucking shapeshifts. Says, "I'm McGann, the last daughter of Mars." And then I did like the fact that she showed herself to him as a green Martian, which, if you know the Titans cartoons and the Titans comics, M'gann is not a green Martian. She is a white Martian. But the racial thing on the planet Mars where she would want to hide that is that the white Martians are the ones who killed all the green Martians other than John Jones. And so she doesn't want him to know that she's a white Martian. Which, on the show, I don't know if they're going to do that where she is a white Martian pretending to be a green Martian. Because that's what they did on the new Titans cartoon, which was fantastic. Because you don't find out until later that she actually is a giant, the white Martians are much bigger and much more fierce. But they have the same power set, so they're shapeshifters, so she can look like a green Martian as easily as she can look like a human.
Sure.
Yeah, so now we've got 2 characters with more superpowers than Superman on Supergirl's show, and they're both shape-shifting Martians. Like, there's a lot of shit they can do with that now with the writers.
Oh, totally.
So I mean, they can start building. I mean, between introducing M'gann and Mon-El in one episode, like they got the start of the Teen Titans. Like they can get a dream team together right now. They're good to go.
They need a cyborg. Who would be? They'd bring in a cyborg, I guess.
Yeah, you can always take any athlete and blow them up. Which
sure.
Sadly is Cyborg's origin. A poor kid who's a gifted athlete and gets 70% of his body blown up, and so it gets replaced with cybernetics by his creepy dad. But yeah, the ones from the Justice League, it looks weird. All the stuff that they've shown so far, I really hope that there's some more CGI passes going on because there's just something that just looks really wrong about how shiny that character looks. Because the actor they got playing Vic looks cool, but like when you see him with like the half face, it looks really shiny. Looks like a
little too shiny for dark.
A little too
lighting that it's going to be in, or
no, a little too shiny for reality. Like it doesn't look like it's tech that's on his head.
Gotcha.
It looks like CGI on another layer.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so and I'm assuming all those passes for the stuff we've seen in Justice League so far is still very early. So I mean, there's going to be more passes, and hopefully a much cleaner resolution before we actually see Vic Stone in full on cyborg mode in the show. But yeah, it's definitely one that could add to the CW universe. They're keeping them separate, so you can have a different actor, different version of them.
True.
They can keep going with that. And then we also had Arrow and Flash. Arrow had some beatdowns this week. There was back to the level of physical ass whooping, and we got to see how Ollie finally finished becoming Bratva by going into a Russian prison and doing his third test for the Bratva.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. And so by the time he gets that done and comes out, you're now Bratva.
And just kill the dude. Just snapped his neck right in the middle of the holding cell. It wasn't even like a
Yeah, they weren't even in prison yet. It was literally they were
Yeah.
awaiting like to see a judge, and ended up killing a guy. But of course, as Ollie said, only because he asked him to.
Hmm.
So he does have that to hang his hat on. He only murdered the guy because, well, if it's you or your family, if you want me to kill you, I'll go ahead and do that for you. And the guy's like, yeah, okay, go ahead and kill me.
Just
yeah.
get it over with.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like they gave him much of a choice. I mean, it was
Right.
a pretty shitty choice. But yeah, so yeah, we got to see how Ollie became Baraka. We got to see more trouble with the upstarts as Ollie goes to break John Diggle out of the military prison with a crime that he didn't commit, which Diggle's letting himself be in prison for killing his brother, and he feels guilty about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we got to see the three new kids, Artemis, Mr. Terrific, and Wild Dog, all stop Ollie on the road to the military prison and tell him, we're not going to let you break John Diggle out of jail.
Yes, I like that.
That part was when and Ollie tell him, oh, you're not going to let me?
Yeah.
And then beating the shit out of his own whole team for real this time.
Yes.
And I love the fact that, I think it was Artemis was the one that when they got back to the base, they're like, I thought he was mean when he was training us. Let's not ever pick an actual fight with him again. He kicked the shit out of us.
Yeah.
And it was like, 17 seconds, and all three of them were on the ground, and he was back on his bike going down the road.
Sure.
Like, he just took them out quick as shit. No problem.
Yeah, it just goes to show how much more training they still need.
Exactly. Yeah, lots and lots of it. And I think Stephen Amell mentioned that was a scene that he got his nose broke on. Like, one of them actually hit him. I think in one of the interchanges of the fights. So yeah, there are actors getting smacked around a little bit on that show apparently.
I'm
sure.
sure.
That was fun. So yeah, we got to see Diggle get out of jail. We got to see Ragman and Overwatch.
How do you think that's working?
Which part?
The Ragman character.
I mean,
is it okay? Let's back up a step. Is Ragman a Batman character?
Yes, he is. He's another Batman character.
Okay, just trying to clear things up.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember. I think Ragman was. I think he was one of the ones that went back and forth between being a Batman villain and kind of a vigilante. I think it was kind of like the Catwoman thing, where she's not a good guy. Right, I think, if I remember correctly, the stories I've read of Ragman, he was never like a full-on good guy. But I mean, it is a cool version of the character because we have a character who's there based on the guilt of something that Arrow's team did. It's like he only exists as that character because they dropped a nuclear weapon on his hometown.
Right.
And it's a very cool interpretation of his origin. I only remember reading maybe one or two stories that had Ragman in it. Like, he wasn't a huge character that I remember reading a lot of, but I do remember when I read about him, it was in Batman comics. So
what do you think is going to... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't know for certain that he was never in Arrow, because he definitely could have been one of Green Arrow's allies as well, but I don't remember ever reading any of those stories.
What do you think is going to happen when Diggle returns to the team? Are we going to get... I mean, I already know we're going to get Speedy back, but I mean... The dynamic with the new and old team. Do you think there's going to be a bunch of like headbutting there at the first little bit before they all meld together?
Maybe a little bit, but I think what we're going to get is like the version of the Titans that they always do in the comics now, where you have the the upperclassmen and the new kids. So you have Cyborg, Beast Boy, Firestar, or not Firestar, Starfire. You have the Changeling. You have your senior members that are there to train the new kids. I think that's what you're going to get. So we'll have Arrow and Diggle are there to run the team physically. Overwatch is there to run the over everything, and then you have basically those two bringing back Oliver's trust level and knowing that he's got somebody there who has his back no matter what, and expanding that to the team so that between the two of them they can train that team better. Because, I mean, we all saw, Ollie did train Diggle as well. Because it wasn't that, Diggle's ex-Special Forces and a badass, but Ollie still had to train him to fight the way that they fight on the streets. And so during that the second season, I think, you really saw Oliver was beating the shit out of Diggle all the time in training in the Arrow Cave under the old club. Yeah, I think we'll get that. Yeah, the Arrow Cave. Yeah, I think it's going to be something where we'll get, it'll be like the junior classmen and the upperclassmen, to where you got Diggle and Ollie basically being like the solid unit training the other kids. And then I don't know about Speedy. I don't know how soon we're going to see her coming back. because I think they're really playing up the idea that character doesn't want to be a vigilante anymore.
Right. Well, they keep referring to her as Speedy, more so now than ever.
Yeah,
but the suit's still in the new Arrow Cave.
Very true. But I mean, even in the first season of the show, he called her that, and that was his nickname for his little sister before any of the Green Arrow stuff.
That's true, but he didn't do it as much as they're picking it up in the last little bit.
Yeah, they are. He does seem to be saying it a bit more often. I think I think it's because he's giving her shit about how bad of a job she keeps doing as his assistant for mayor.
Right. Well, I mean, what do they know about doing anything political?
Exactly, and this the last 2 episodes have basically just been about her messing up in politics. So yeah, I think he's just been flipping her shit.
And then what happened to the other guy? This other Archer?
Oh, the other evil Archer.
Yeah, we just kind of dropped that storyline for a little bit.
Oh, I think he's still. I think we're supposed to assume he's still somewhere in town. But yeah, there wasn't like an update of him attacking or killing anybody again at the end of the episode, because they did it the last 2, where he was the last thing they showed. Yeah, and this one it was more about the fact that I want to say Cuddy from fucking The Wire, but or Tyrese from The Walking Dead. I can't think of his name on Arrow yet, but dude's been doing some
Church.
Dude's got some serious fucking geek cred. Talking about acting on some big shows. He did The Wire and The Walking Dead, and now he's on Arrow, beating the shit out of people with fucking brass knuckles. Which I love the fact he just gets in a fight and just pulls them out of his suit. Let's go, bitches!
Right.
And I mean, yeah, and I love that actor. He's great, and he seems to be having a blast with his character. But yeah, it's just him beating the hell out of Wild Dog at the end of it. It's like, well, if there's anything left to you, I might send it back to your boss. It's like, man. It's like, well, I might beat you to death. I might not. Ouch. Like, yeah,
just how my mood, where it takes me.
Wild Dog is not having a good day. And and it's still funny seeing him because I still remember that actor as a Phantom Freak from Hackers. That's the last thing I really remember him in from the mid 90s. And yeah, so it's really weird to see him as kind of a tough guy with scruff, because I think when he did that movie he was about 17.
Right. But he's supposed to be playing kind of a young guy, but he's probably older than Stephen Amell.
He might be. But I mean, I do like him as Wild Dog. He's made that character really fun. Yeah, and it's just running around being crazy in a motherfucking hockey mask. But yeah, so we didn't get an update on the Archer that I remember at all from this week. But yeah, I think we're supposed to assume he's still running around Star City fucking with people, and at some point they'll pick up that storyline. Probably when the stuff with Church is ending, it'll switch over and focus toward the Archer, because I don't know who exactly of those two, if one of them is really supposed to be the big bad, or if it's going to be the switch mid-season again, where everything will build up a Church, they'll beat him, and then the second half of the season after the break might be all about the Dark Archer.
I was going to ask you something that's fucking gone now.
That's all right. And so, we got one more show, and that was The Flash this week, where we got the audition of the Harrys, which was fucking hilarious.
The audition? Oh yeah. Sorry.
I
was like, yes, that was hilarious.
We got all the Harrison Wells from the different dimensions, which the steampunk one was ridiculous. He was fucking funny.
They were all pretty funny in their own ways, though.
Very true. And you gotta know the actor. He had fun doing all those roles and getting all those outfits.
That guy was acting his ass off.
Yeah, and so the accents were really bad too.
Yeah. But that was part of the fun, I think.
Yeah, that was fun stuff. And then we got the introduction of Mirror Master, who basically has another dark matter based mutant power and not a mirror gun that shoots 2-dimensional space or whatever the hell it was originally in the comics. But yeah, so it's like
kind of hard for TV.
Yeah, anyway. True. But I mean, they've explained some serious shit on that show that doesn't seem to make much sense, but they've seemed to make it work. So I think they could, because I mean, they did explain, because doesn't Harrison Wells said on his planet there was a Mirror Master who had a gun, and they were like, how the fuck did that work? He's like, he shot 2-dimensional space at people, basically. Which, it seems like just a simple explanation. Do we know how it works? Fuck no. But hell, if we say this, it'll make sense.
Right.
But yeah, right. I like the idea that he just grabbed people and chucked them into mirrors or any reflective surface.
His Harley-like girlfriend had some crazy powers as well.
Oh yeah, the top, which
Top, yes.
I'm trying to remember. I think at least back when I was reading Flash, Top was a male villain, but I think he had like a human tornado type power where he actually spun. And so
They've
I'm
already
not.
done-
What was that?
They had already done that in like the first season, hadn't they?
Well,
The
they
guy
had
that
the weather wizard,
Oh yeah, that's right. The
but I
weather.
don't know if they've actually had somebody with the spinning power. But yeah, this is more like the Vertigo power from the mutates in X-Men, where yeah, she looks at you and basically makes you experience extreme bouts of vertigo.
Yeah, yeah.
Which yeah, it's like what I don't know how that's a
You're
top.
twisting the space dimension or something. It
Yeah.
was weird. It was really weird.
Yeah, and the way they showed it was really cool too. I love the fact like when she tells the boyfriend hold on to something, and then yeah, you start seeing every surface of reality start bending in towards him. And he's like, oh fuck, and like he's literally he's not moving. He's holding onto a wall, and like he's almost falling over because the vertigo is just smacking the hell out of his equilibrium. So yeah, the special effect on it was really really cool.
Yeah,
I
it
just
was really cool.
I didn't really like the name, but you know who cares? That doesn't matter too much. It was
Yeah,
it was
she's a minor character.
yeah, and it was another fun
character.
episode, and Jesse Quick dealt with her, which was cool.
Yes, yes.
We got to
And
see.
her suit was cool.
Yeah, see, I was expecting a little more yellow because it seemed like there was more yellow when they showed the preview of it, the previous episode
Oh,
of it in
yeah.
the box. But
Like,
yeah,
like the underarms seemed to be more yellow or something.
yeah, but yeah,
How she ripped her mask off I was like, okay, how's that even applied?
yeah, movie magic.
Right,
It just, whoop, sticks, whoop, pops right off.
right.
But yeah, it was cool. Yeah, to see. Yeah, we got to see Jesse Quick in more action in the suit, and then yeah, failing on the first outing, making mistakes, and then yeah, learning from him, getting better as a speedster, realizing yeah, Barry didn't do everything perfect from the get go. You're gonna fuck up. You got to keep working on it. So yeah, it was fun to see. Yeah, so they got the two speedsters running around at least for the moment. Which I mean, you know, they keep working on that show. At one point, it looked like we were going to have all 6 or 7 of them. Because they still haven't introduced Max Mercury yet, though. That's the name I'm waiting for.
Max Mercury. I
Yeah,
don't
we
know
need
that
Max Mercury, and we need Bartholomew Allen, Impulse,
one.
the
Okay.
kid from the like 28th century or something. He's like Barry's great grandson,
Okay.
who at some point comes back in time, was a member of the Young Teen Titans, and then eventually became Kid Flash in the
Okay.
comics.
I remember the name Impulse from Smallville.
Yeah, which
And the kid was named Barry Allen.
yeah, they took and I think it actually on one of his fake IDs it said Bartholomew.
Perhaps so, yeah.
Yeah,
I think so. I think
it
so.
was- yeah, that character really was more Bart Allen than he was Barry. But yeah, there was the version of the Flash they did on Smallville. Well, it really was Bart. Like that was a Bart-like character.
Okay, okay.
Because yeah, he was very impulsive and kept just like running off and doing stuff without ever thinking about it, which is the way Impulse works as a character.
Gotcha. I was not knowing that when I saw it
Yeah.
first time around. I was like, just call him the Flash. I mean, that's the Flash.
Yeah. Well, he had the super speed. But yeah,
He
that
was like,
that
let's
was-
race.
Yeah, that one was done good.
But we're not. That I'm rewatching that. Small.
Oh, you're watching Smallville? Nice.
yeah.
Did
But
you
that-
start
we're
it
not-
already?
I have.
How far in are you?
Just started season 2.
Nice. So that's what because the season 1 finale is the tornado at prom, right?
Tornado at Prom. Yeah, and I actually need to go back and rewatch it just because I was doing stuff while it was on.
Only pseudo paying attention.
Yeah. So I want to go back. I really want to go back and watch all 275 episodes. Like for
Wow.
real, sit down and watch them.
That's an undertaking.
Well, it is, and when they were on TNT, you still deal with the commercials and all that. Hulu, you don't have to deal with it. Makes it a quick 42-minute, kind of jaunt.
Nice. Yeah. So at some point, I think I still need to buy seasons 9 and 10. I think I have the first 8 on DVD.
Mm.
I think I have the first 8 seasons in the box sets. But yeah, that was a show I enjoyed. It was a good version of basically what has led to all the awesome superhero TV shows we have now.
Oh, totally.
Because yeah, Smallville made that transition because before that we had Birds of Prey, and Birds of Prey did
I
not
thought
do
Birds of
very
Prey
good.
came after.
I believe it was first
Okay.
because and a lot
What was the one that came after then? Wasn't there was that Birds of Prey, or it was like a undercover Superboy or something like that, or something's kind of like a Superman.
I don't know if there's another Superman one.
Okay, maybe I might be confusing things because that was years ago. But
yeah, no, Birds of Prey was the one with the Huntress, who was based on. There was the idea that she was. They chose the character named Huntress, but it wasn't Huntress from the comics. This was Batman and Catwoman had a daughter who somehow had superpowers, and so that character they called her Huntress.
I thought that came after Smallville.
I thought it came before, but I could be wrong. Smallville might have started first.
Either way.
Yeah, I know that show. That show did not do well. Yeah, it did one season, I think.
Perhaps.
Yeah, because I own it. I own the season on DVD.
Okay, well then yes.
Like $9. Yeah, I think it was just. I think they only got through the one season. But yeah, I mean Smallville they stuck with, and yeah, they were able to do a lot of stuff with that. That yeah, we're seeing the benefits of that in all the new superhero shows.
Well, yeah, because I mean back then they introduced the Justice League. They introduced characters.
Oh yeah.
From the DC Legion universe. Yeah,
they did the Legion. They did.
So, I mean, it was kind of ahead of their time, kind of.
Oh yeah,
because none of the Marvel movies were out at that point.
Yep, and yeah, they did small intros too. It was we'll introduce one character here, one character there, and then eventually they brought together kind of a Justice League where you got literally Aquaman and Flash and Cyborg all helping Clark. And so they didn't call them just Justice League, but that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did what was it, the two-part episode with Jeff Johns wrote, where it was the JSA where they brought in Hawkman. That was some cool shit.
That was cool, but the Stargirl was really awesome.
Yeah. Which, and
that.
Stargirl just made her appearance on the JSA again in Legends of Tomorrow. So that's the character that they're sticking with, which I like the Stargirl outfit and the staff. It's a really cool look. Where you got that big steampunk looking staff, but then a very Captain America looking outfit.
Yeah, when I first saw it, watching that Jeff Johns episode when it originally ran, I was like, Captain America. I thought Captain America was Marvel, but whatever. This girl's really pretty. She could be whatever she wants to be.
But yeah, so it'll be cool to see what they're going forward with all of these shows because of all the awesome stuff on Smallville. So you have to keep us updated as you're going back and doing your watch through.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll make a point to at least write down the episodes I watched that week and any big points that happen in Clark's life.
Nice. All right. You got anything else for us this week, Josh?
No.
All right. So tell the people where they can find you online.
You can find me on the Twitters at 303_ninja and all over the Points of Interest podcast, which you can find at poipodcast.com.
Nice. And I do my stuff for myself at Anthony Bachman on Twitter. If you want to talk comic book movie stuff, I am at CMYKTV on Twitter. And that'll do it for this week. We'll go watch some more superhero shows, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a colorful week. Bye.